It's interesting. So you building the first wave, if I can credit you with that, I know there are other people involved, but I mean, I would have to argue that you had a pretty big influence in that. You were using these skills that you had from working in these larger organizations, working at scale, working on making products approachable to consumers. And, once that first wave was over, it just like opened up the floodgates for the second wave, where now you've got people starting companies in their dorm rooms and having multi-million dollar valuations practically overnight and such. But now that we've got that infrastructure, we've got more people, everybody's on the internet, and that second wave has come. Now it's going to be the hard slog again a little bit in this third wave, it sounds like. Is
Yeah,
that
no,
accurate?
yeah, no, I think first of all, there were a lot of people who were part of that first wave and contributed to making it happen, both within AOL as well as many other companies that were critically parts of that. Really, hundreds of companies were part of that first wave, and
Sure.
that's why partnership is so important. And the second wave, there were a lot of overnight successes, like as you say, kind of dorm room startups, whether it be Facebook or Snapchat. That's not to say that it wasn't challenging for them, or in some cases it was a longer slog. But there were certainly many examples of kind of overnight successes in the second wave, and I do think that will be rarer in the third wave. I think if you're really trying to revolutionize a sector like healthcare, it's not just about the app. It's also about how you integrate that technology into hospitals. And if you really want to change kind of education, it's not just about the kind of learning you can do on your tablet. It's also about how you work with teachers in classrooms to create a more active, engaged, personalized, adaptive approach to learning that's really more for each kid, depending on their learning preferences and styles and so forth. So I think it's going to require more perseverance. I think it's going to require more partnerships, and it's going to require more engagement on policy, what I call in the book the three Ps, because most of these sectors are regulated, and so dealing with regulations, even though it's challenging and frustrating sometimes for innovators, is going to become much more important. So I just think that's why I decided to write the book. I think that the mindset and the playbook needs to be different from in the third wave, different from the second wave, but have some similarities to the first wave. Those three Ps around partnership and policy and perseverance really were critical in the first wave, not as critical in the second wave, will be critical again in the third wave.